Picture this, a scenario that feels unsettlingly familiar yet utterly alien. You're walking through an endless, buzzing maze of yellow. The air is thick, heavy with a sense of unease that clings to you like a second skin. Each step echoes faintly, swallowed by the oppressive atmosphere. The wallpaper is that faded floral pattern your grandma had, stained and old. It peels away from the walls in places, revealing glimpses of something darker beneath. You can almost smell the dust and forgotten memories trapped within its fibers. The carpet is damp, squishing underfoot, a disconcerting sensation that sends shivers up your spine. It's as if the very floor is weeping, and the smell is a mix of wet fabric and something you can't name. A cloying, sickly sweet odor that hints at decay and neglect. It fills your nostrils, making you want to gag. You know deep down you're not supposed to be here. Every instinct screams at you to turn back, to flee this place as quickly as possible. But something keeps you moving forward. A morbid curiosity or perhaps a sense of resignation. This place is a glitch in reality. A world just outside the one you know. A tear in the fabric of existence where the rules of space and time seem to have broken down. There are no windows, no real doors, just more empty rooms, an endless labyrinth of identical spaces, each one more unsettling than the last. The only sound is the relentless hum of flickering fluorescent lights, a maddening drone that grates on your nerves, amplifying the feeling of isolation. You call out, but your voice is swallowed by the emptiness. It dissipates into the void, leaving you feeling even more alone than before. It feels like the walls are listening, watching your every move with unseen eyes, like something is waiting just out of sight, lurking in the shadows, just beyond the edge of your vision, patiently waiting for an opportunity. You're completely alone, but you can almost feel a presence behind you, a cold breath on your neck, the sensation of being watched. This isn't just a nightmare, it's a place, a tangible, horrifying reality that exists just beneath the surface of the everyday world. Welcome to the Backrooms, a place where the familiar becomes alien, and the mundane transforms into the terrifying. It's the fear of the familiar turned wrong, the uncanny valley of places, like a school hallway at midnight or an empty office on a weekend. Those liminal spaces that feel unsettling even in the real world, amplified to a terrifying degree. The horror isn't about what you see, but what you see. The things that are missing, the details that are just slightly off. Your mind fills in the blanks, making the unknown even worse. The fear of what be lurking in the shadows is far more potent than any monster you could imagine. Time doesn't work right here. You could be lost for hours or years. The clock on the wall is frozen, a constant reminder that you are trapped outside of time. The silence is deafening, broken only by that hum. A constant, maddening reminder that you are not alone, even when you desperately wish you were. You're trapped in a memory that isn't yours, in a place that shouldn't exist. A false reality, a twisted reflection of the world you once knew, and you can't wake up. This is your reality now. So what do we call this weird retro found footage style of horror? Analog horror. It pretends to be old media, VHS tapes, emergency broadcasts, forgotten training videos. The glitches, static, and washed out colors aren't just for show. They're part of the horror. The monster isn't just in the story, it's in the media itself, corrupting what you see and hear. Series like Local 58, the Mandela Catalogue, and Gemini Home Entertainment use this style to make their worlds feel chillingly real. It's not about high-def scares, it's about atmosphere and dread. The lo-fi visuals make you lean in, trying to decipher what's happening, and that's when it gets you. The horror creeps in through distorted voices, unsettling text, and the slow realization that the world is broken. Analog horror is nostalgia weaponized, delivering pure nightmare fuel straight to your brain. The Backrooms, a chilling concept that has captured the internet's imagination, didn't originate in Hollywood's movie studios. Its roots are far more humble and digital. It was born on the anonymous image board 4chan back in 2019. A seemingly innocuous post would soon give rise to a sprawling, shared nightmare. It all began when someone posted a seemingly ordinary photo. An empty, yellow office space bathed in the unsettling glow of fluorescent lights. But then, another user replied with a chilling story, a seed of dread that would quickly take root in the collective consciousness. The comment described a terrifying scenario. If you no-clip out of reality, a term borrowed from video game glitches, you end up in the Backrooms, a place of endless rooms, stretching on into infinity. characterized by buzzing lights, casting long, ominous shadows, and the ever-present feeling that something is hunting you. That single, unsettling comment sparked a legend, igniting the internet's imagination. The internet community ran with it, embracing the unsettling premise and expanding upon it, building intricate lore, detailing the history and nature of this strange place. New levels were added, each with its own unique terrors and challenges, and of course new dangers lurking in the shadows, waiting for unsuspecting wanderers. It became a modern campfire tale, told and retold by thousands across the internet. The idea of no clipping, a glitch that allows players to pass through walls in video games, made the concept feel strangely real and relatable, tapping into a shared gaming experience. But what truly launched the Backrooms into the mainstream was Kane Pixel's short film released in 2022. His found-footage-style video brought the digital nightmare to life in a visceral and terrifying way, showing a lone cameraman hopelessly lost and relentlessly hunted within the labyrinthine maze of the Backrooms. It went viral almost instantly, captivating audiences with its unsettling atmosphere and realistic portrayal, setting a new gold standard for Backrooms content and inspiring countless others to explore the concept. Kane didn't just adapt the existing story, he significantly expanded upon it, adding layers of depth and mystery, creating a vast and intricate universe that people are still actively exploring and adding to. The Backrooms has become a truly collaborative and ever-evolving myth, a testament to the power of collective imagination. There's something deeply unsettling about analog horror. Why does a grainy video of an empty hallway, something so mundane, scare us, linger in our minds, far more than a big-budget monster movie filled with jump scares and elaborate special effects? What is it about this lo-fi aesthetic that gets under our skin? Subtlety. It's all about what you see. Analog horror thrives on slow-burn dread, a creeping sense of unease that builds gradually, and the feeling that something is just wrong. Deeply, fundamentally wrong. It takes safe, familiar places, the cornerstones of our everyday lives, schools, those places of learning and growth, offices, the settings of our daily grind, homes, and twists them, subtly warps them until they feel alien, hostile, and threatening. The terror comes from small discrepancies, those almost imperceptible shifts in reality, like a reflection that smiles when you don't, or a shadow that moves on its own. The world is almost right, familiar and recognizable, but the wrongness, that subtle discordance, hints at something sinister lurking beneath the surface, something just out of sight. The genre is a master of suggestion. A whisper in the dark, a fleeting glimpse, showing you just enough to let your imagination fill in the blanks, to conjure your own personal horrors. The unknown is always scarier than the known, the unseen more terrifying than the seen. Analog horror also exploits our fear of lost control, the feeling of being powerless in the face of something overwhelming, and corrupted information, the inability to trust the reality presented to you. You're watching a degraded tape, a damaged recording, unable to trust what you see or hear, constantly questioning the validity of the information. The information is incomplete, fragmented, unreliable, leaving you grasping for answers, and that helplessness, that feeling of being adrift in a sea of uncertainty, is profoundly terrifying. You're piecing together a nightmare from fragments, trying to make sense of the senseless, powerless to change the outcome, trapped in a loop of escalating dread. That's the true horror, the loss of control, the corruption of the familiar, and the terrifying power of suggestion. Analog horror has its masters. Chris Straub's Local 58 set the template hijacked TV, cryptic messages, cosmic dread. Alex Kister's Mandela Catalogue brought psychological horror and the terror of doppelgangers. His raw, unpolished style makes the fear feel personal and immediate. Kane Pixels revolutionized the Backrooms, adding cinematic quality and a deep, mysterious narrative. His work with CGI and found-footage style made the unreal feel real. Other creators like Martin Walls, The Walton Files, and Remy Abode, Gemini Home Entertainment, each bring their own flavor: animatronic nightmares, cosmic horror, and more. What unites them? They know the best scares come from what you, not what you show. These creators are building our modern nightmares, one grainy video at a time. The genre keeps growing, with new voices adding to the mythos. Analog horror is a living, evolving art form. Liminal spaces, those in-between places like hallways, waiting rooms, and empty airports, are the heart of analog horror. They're meant to be temporary, but when you're stuck in them, unease sets in. The Backrooms is the ultimate liminal space. Endless rooms, no destination, just transition. It's a place stripped of purpose, and that's what makes it terrifying. Analog horror creators use these spaces masterfully. A shot of an empty, fluorescent-lit corridor can be more unsettling than any monster. The familiarity draws you in, but the emptiness unnerves you. It triggers a primal fear. Stillness and isolation mean danger. The lo-fi found footage style makes it feel real, like you're actually there. The world is familiar but broken. The combination of a wrong but recognizable setting and degraded video creates perfect psychological horror. It's a nightmare grounded in reality, and it suggests you could end up in one of these places forever. Why is a fuzzy, low-quality image scarier than a crystal-clear one? Ambiguity. Grainy, distorted visuals force your brain to fill in the blanks, and what you imagine is always worse. Glitches aren't just effects, they're psychological weapons. A distorted face or warped audio becomes instantly sinister. The tape itself feels like a dying witness struggling to show you the truth. Lo-fi makes it feel real, like found footage you weren't meant to see. The imperfections lower your defenses, making the horror hit harder. Glitches can hide the monster, keeping it terrifyingly unknown. The less you see, the scarier it is. The analog format turns technical flaws into suspense. The real horror lives in the glitch. The Backrooms went from a 4chan post to a sprawling universe, and now it's heading to Hollywood. A24, the studio behind Hereditary and The Witch, is making a Backrooms movie directed by Kane himself. This is a huge moment for analog horror, proving internet-born stories can break into the mainstream. The genre's low barrier to entry means anyone can create their own nightmares. The A24 film will introduce the Backrooms to a massive new audience, inspiring even more content. Analog horror's core appeal, unsettling nostalgia, psychological dread, lo-fi style, is timeless. The Backrooms' journey from a creepy image to a major film shows the power of grassroots storytelling. The future is wide open and deeply unsettling. The most exciting thing about the Backrooms and analog horror, it's horror for the people, by the people. Born from internet creativity, not corporate boardrooms, it proves you don't need a big budget to terrify the world. The DIY lo-fi approach is the genre's soul. Atmosphere over spectacle, dread over gore. These creators are digital campfire storytellers using simple tools to craft modern myths. The fears they tap into, being lost, familiar places gone wrong, not trusting your senses, are universal. The retro aesthetic corrupts nostalgia, making the past feel haunted. Analog horror is a renaissance of grassroots terror, fueled by creativity and accessibility. Anyone with a scary story can share it, and that's a wonderfully terrifying thought.